We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard Brahma is speaking. Such non-devotees engage their senses in very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer insomnia at night because their intelligence constantly breaks their sleep with various mental speculations. They are frustrated in all their various plans by supernatural power. Even great sages, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world. When we are in forgetfulness of Supreme Lord, then this thing is happening. We think sense gratification is goal of life, and we do extensive work, very troublesome, and we gain nothing permanent. Devotees also work, but not extensively, only as much as necessary for livelihood in a way that is favorable for their service of Krishna. Not too much, not too less, and not in some sinful activities, but what is according to one's nature or Varna Ashram Dharma, to survive so that one can engage in the service of Krishna by hearing about him, chanting, remembering, worshipping his lotus feet, deity, all these things. So they are not extensive, but as much as necessary. And also they are not rejecting work. They are working for Krishna. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase shrutekshita patho nanunata pungsham yat yadhiya ta urugaya vibhavayanti tat tad vapuh pranaya se tat anugrahaya. O my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Example is Parikshit Maharaj. He was hearing Bhagavatam, and by this process of bona fide hearing, he got full realization. And also, brother of Gokarna, he was also hearing Bhagavatam for 7 days, and he got fully purified and got Vaikuntha. And according to one's rasa, means a relationship with Krishna, or particular form, Ramchandra, Krishna, or Narayan, Nrishinga, or any other, according to one's inclination, that type of eternal form will manifest in his heart. Krishna will manifest in that form. Like Murari Gupta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed himself to him as Ramachandra, because that is his object of worship. Once in Chandigarh, I asked Gurudev, I was quite new at that time. I asked him, Gurudev, is this our Ishtadev means object of worship is fixed for all jivas, or we choose, or how it is? Then Gurudev first made me understand step by step. First he said, Jato vaimani bhutani jayante jeno jatani jivanti jat prajanti abhishan vishanti tat bijigya sasva tat eva brahma. From whom all living entities emanate, by whom all living entities are maintained, into whom all living entities will enter. He is one. Brahma means supreme. So Gurudev first made me understand that for all jivas, object of worship is fixed in the sense that there is only one Supreme Lord. He is the object of worship for all jivas. One Supreme Lord. It is not that for one jiva something else will be object of worship. No. Only one object of worship is for all jivas, that is their source, that is Brahma, that is Supreme. Then I asked him, yes, but I meant in this sense, whether Krishna or Ramachandra or Narayan or Nrishinga. Then Gurudev looked at me more closely and he said, do you have any special taste for any of these forms? And because Gurudev is a realized soul and he was speaking from a realization, so I could feel that no, I don't have any special taste for any form. I don't have any taste, but to speak of special taste. I have no inclination to serve. So then Gurudev smiled and he said, then you will have to bow down to everyone, means all forms of Supreme Lord, because they are one and they are doing different pastimes, so you have to bow down to everyone. Then gradually you can understand that special particular taste. And also, if Krishna is your object of worship, now I'm speaking, this is not what Gurudev said, now I'm further explaining. Then after I got this answer from Gurudev, then I went to that Dharamshala near our mat in Chandigarh. There all different forms of Bhagavan are there. I bow down to everyone. And now I'm telling further, even when one will have special taste for Krishna, there are different ways of serving him. In which relationship, Shanta, Dasya, Sakha, Vatsalya, Madhurja, that also will be gradually revealed. When one performs devotional service in Vaidhi platform, means regulated by Shastra and Guru, all these Shravan, Kirtan, all these forms, then inside the heart, when your heart will be purified, then that particular type of relationship will be awakened, and accordingly, particular eternal form of transcendence will be revealed in heart. Naturally. No need to artificially or for some mundane superiority. Everyone wants to be gopis because that is highest. Or some want to be friends because that is their material sentiment like that. So these are all material thinkings. That is unnecessary. We have to do bhajan according to our particular stage as per order of Guru and Shastra. And when our heart will purify, then naturally that will be revealed, particularized, and that will be transcendental taste. As Gurudev told me, some special taste. That is transcendental taste, not some mundane thinking. I want to be this because that is highest. Or all elderly ladies, they want Krishna should be their son because of their material sentiment. But this is also no problem, because any relationship you like, you can worship in that. Even there is some material tinge there, but you worship him. Then when that material sentiment will be purified when worshipping, then your actual transcendental eternal relation will be revealed. So there is no problem to think Krishna is son, you serve him as your son. But point is you serve him. Then that eternal relation will be revealed. Once all material emotions, sentiments will be purified. Nati prasidati tato pachito pachareir aradita suraganair hridi baddha kamei yat sarva bhuta dayayasat alampya yaiko nana janeshu avahita suhrit antaratma. My Lord, you are not very much satisfied by the worship of the demigods, who arrange for your worship very pompously with various paraphernalia, but who are full of material hankerings. You are situated in everyone's heart as the super soul, just to show your causeless mercy, and you are the eternal well-wisher, but you are unavailable for the non-devotee. Yes, demigods, they also worship him, like Indra, but for keeping their position in heavenly planets, material planets, for some their own selfish purpose, they are worshipping. This we see in the case of Vritrasur and Indra. Vritrasur told him, you kill me, but Indra could not. He was all the time speculating why he's saying, and he's saying a very high topic, so Krishna surely will give him heaven. So all the time he was thinking in that way. And also when Hiranyakashipu was disturbing everyone, then demigods, they also went to Vishnu to pray, you please come and solve the situation. Then Vishnu said, no, I will not come now because you are saying so. I will come when he will venture to harm my pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Because Prahlad Maharaj is thinking for the welfare of all, eternal welfare, not any selfishness. So when Nrsimha Bhagavan appeared, because of Prahlad, and he killed Hiranyakashipu, then demigods also came and they prayed. Oh, very nice, you killed him. Now we will get our yogic powers back, we will get our position back. He was disturbing. But Nrsimha Bhagavan was not satisfied with their prayers. He was very angry on them, out of compassion, because selfishness was there. And because they were not considering, not going to Prahlad Maharaj to pacify him. They were only thinking about themselves. Prahlad Maharaj was in so much torture and everything, and they did not go to pacify him. So Nrsimha Bhagavan was not satisfied. He was not thinking about them. He was thinking about Prahlad Maharaj. So here, Brahma himself is telling, oh, my Lord, you are not very much satisfied by the worship of demigods. Brahma himself sent Prahlad Maharaj after, at the end. Even Lakshmi did not want to go, so Brahma requested Prahlad Maharaj, you go. Then Prahlad Maharaj also said in prayers, now I understood that these demigods, they are full of Satya Guna, and they have so many qualities, so many powers, so all these good qualities. But now I understand that that cannot satisfy you. How I, who am born in a demon family, how I could satisfy you? So now I understand it is only because Narad Goswami gave me devotion, pure devotion. that can only satisfy you, nothing else. So we have to always hanker for association of pure devotees so we can imbibe pure devotion. We should not hanker for heaven or this and that and no. Sadhu Sangha, even in hell or as a birth or anything. But main point is I should have Sadhu Sangha. Dhritarashtra was praying and so many other prayers there by pure devotees. They are not praying for anything, only for causeless devotion or Sadhu Sangha, because from Sadhu Sangha, from devotees association, you get that pure devotion. And as Paramatma, Krishna is always in heart and he is always giving impetus. You go to that sadhu, but we are not listening. Yes. You are eternal well-wisher. Chaitya Guru, Paramatma, inside heart, he is also always inspiring us to worship him, but we are not listening. And so although he is inside our heart, but we are unaware of his presence there because he is not available for non-devotee. Non-devotee cannot see him, but devotee can when he is inclined to serve him. By Krishna's grace, he can see him, that he is in the heart. And devotee also can see Krishna in the heart of every living entity. Though those people are not aware of the presence of Supreme Lord in their heart. He is there, and devotees, they are seeing him there. That is why those who have reached Nishtha stage, that level of purity, because they see the presence of Supreme Lord in the heart of every living entity, they can give due respect to all. Otherwise it is impossible. But they are giving to all, because they are seeing in all Krishna is there. Whether devotees or non-devotees, but Krishna is there, so they can give respect to everyone. They are residents of Krishna, and Krishna loves them all, and they are valuable to Krishna, all jivas. They have their value in relation to Krishna, so we have to give due respect to all living entities. Only when we can come to this platform, when we can give due respect to all living entities, and when we don't have any desire to get respect from anyone, then only in that bhav, in that mood, in that realization, one can actually chant Harinam properly for the satisfaction of Krishna. And by that chanting, he can awaken prema. Otherwise, offenses will be there. Disrespect, other desires, offenses, all this. Pungsham ato vivida karmabir advaradyer danena chogra tapasa paricharyaya cha aradhanam bhagavatastava sat kriyarto dharmor pitah karhichit mriyate na yatra. But the pious activities of the people, such as performance of Vedic rituals, charity, austere penances, and transcendental service, performed with a view to worship you and satisfy you by offering you the fruitive results, are also beneficial. Such acts of religion never go in vain. Target should be correct, our Gurudev always used to say. It should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna, not for any selfish purpose. Then one will think, okay, Krishna is the only enjoyer, then I will have to suffer. By logic, he is only enjoyer, so then I will be sufferer. That is not the point. When you are engaged in the service of Krishna, your target is to satisfy him. Then by that activity, you will be fully happy, because that is your natural function. Krishna is enjoying transcendental bliss, and Jiva is also enjoying transcendental bliss in rendering him that service. But the target, he's the only enjoyer, means that our target is his satisfaction. We are working, not calculating for our own some sense gratification like this. Then that will always disturb you. When your desires are fulfilled or not fulfilled, always you will be disturbed. Even when they are fulfilled, you will not be happy, because it will not last long, and it cannot fully satisfy you. And these activities, which are actually done for Krishna's pleasure, they will never go in vain. They will remain on your eternal account. This is the only thing which is staying with you always. Everything else is temporary. It will be taken away from you by time. Shashvat Swarupa Mahasaiva Nipita Bheda Mohaya Bodha Dishanaya Namah Parasmai Vishwadbhava Stiti Layeshu Nimita Lila Rasayate Nama Idam Chakri Meshwaraya. Let me offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Transcendence, who is eternally distinguished by his internal potency. His indistinguishable impersonal feature is realized by intelligence for self-realization. I offer my obeisances unto him who by his pastimes enjoys the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. When we are submitted to internal potency, then we can realize Bhagavan. He has distinguishable qualities, such form, such qualities, such pastimes, such associates. Everything is defined, and we ourselves are also defined in relation to him. We have our own eternal identity, form, dress, service, everything in relation to him. That is all realized by internal potency when we are serving him. But impersonal realization is by Jnana Yoga. That self-realization, if you follow that process of controlling your senses, mind, and meditation and study of those Upanishads and like this, then you can realize impersonal feature, but that is not final. That is not final self-realization and not final realization of the Absolute. That is one stage. And devotees, when they will worship Bhagavan, they will also realize this, also Brahma Jyoti, because it is non-different from Krishna. It is inseparable from him. So there is no need that first you have to practice Jnana Yoga and then Bhakti Yoga. No. Immediately Bhakti Yoga and you will realize everything. But some go by those processes and gradually advance. So here Brahma is offering obeisances to Krishna, who enjoys these pastimes of creating, maintaining, and destroying this material universe. This is also one his pastime, Shrishti Lila. It is for his pleasure. He has unlimited Lilas, unlimited varieties, so why this one should be left out? And as I told, through this Lila, Krishna is fulfilling that parental affection for Jivas, and he is their rescuer on this. would otherwise be impossible if such lila would not be there. Yasyavatara guna karma vidambanani namani ye suvigame vivasha grinanti te neika janma shamalam sahaseva hitva samyanti apavritamritam tam ajam prapadye. Let me take shelter of the lotus feet of him whose incarnations, qualities and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes his transcendental names, even unconsciously, at the time he quits this life, is certainly washed immediately of the sins of many, many births and attains him without fail. These pastimes of Krishna or Ramchandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like those who appear in this world, they look like this human. They are like here imitation of worldly affairs, means they look like this, but their substance is different. They're eternal, transcendental, and target is to satisfy devotees, and devotees, they want to satisfy him, and it is for the eternal benefit of all. They will be rescued. But in reality, actually, it is that transcendental lila, either in Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or in Vrindavan or Dwaraka, all those eternal lilas of Supreme Lord, they are original reality. That is a reality, proper. And this, what we are doing here in this world, that is imitation. We are trying to imitate Krishna, thinking I am enjoyer, I am master. So this is perverted reflection of that real reality. Bastava Bastu, real reality. Bastava Bastu. Basta means a real object and Basta means real. So that is like a tree, actual tree with fruits, sweet fruits. And this material world is like a shadow of a tree. Looks like, but there is no substance actually. So you cannot be fulfilled. So you have to get the real fruit, means you have to participate in the real lila, that of Krishna, in real nature, that eternal servant of Krishna. But when Krishna appears in this world, then he plays like humans. Also his associates. Like tomorrow we will hear about Gadadhar Pandit and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They are both personal associates of Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they are playing pastimes like human, as like sadhakas, as practitioners. So in their life also there is some, like they commit some mistake or some offense or some sin, and then they rectify. That is all in imitation of this worldly affair, so that we can have example how to worship Krishna. Yes, and Brahma here is speaking this, and the example is Ajamil. He was on the verge of death. The Yamadutas already came to pick him up. And that is forcefully, no one can stop. If you want to resist, you cannot. You have no such power. They will come and they will take your soul, means yourself. They will take out of this body when there is time. if you are under karma. Then Ajamil, he was very sinful. But because unconsciously, here Brahma said, even unconsciously, he called his son Narayan. That was his name, Narayan. He did not think of Vishnu, Narayan, but he thought of his son, Narayan, out of attachment. And he loudly uttered Narayan, Narayan, and that became Nama Bhas. Narayan name is Narayan name. Like if you, there example is there, if you put finger in fire, it will burn you, whether you know or not. So like that, knowingly, unknowingly, when you, if you chant the name, that will purify you, because name of Krishna and he, they are not different. But it is not that all, Ajamil, he was rescued here, Brahma says, since of many, many births, entertain him without fail, will reach Krishna. Ajamil is example. But there Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining, though Harinam is all powerful, but it will not grace someone if he is invested with offenses. Like one employee with some merchant, he will commit some offense that merchant will not be affectionate to him. It does not mean that merchant is unable to maintain him. When we see that that person is not eating, that does not mean that his boss is unable to maintain him. No, but he's angry with him. He's not merciful. Like that, so many people chanting name and we think, no, it is not working. So it is not true that all powers are in the name. We are thinking like this, but it is not like that. All powers are in the name, but he is not merciful to those who commit offenses or had from before. Ajamil did not commit any offense to any Vaishnava, or he did not criticize Supreme Lord, never. Only he was fully engrossed in sinful activities, but that was all purified just by Namabhas. But if there are offenses, then one will not get the fruit of Namabhas. He will have to rectify those offenses by sadhu sangha and engage favorably in the service of Krishna. Then when that will be removed, then as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained, then if that employee will regret his mistake and he will correct and he will be humble and like this, then again that merchant will be merciful to him, will maintain him. So like that we will also get the grace of the name when we learn how to properly submit to him with the help of devotees. Yo va aham cha girishascha vibhuh swayam cha stiti udbhava pralaya hetava atma mulam bhitva tripatva vrida eka uru prarohas tasmai namo bhagavate bhuvana drumaya. Girish means Shiva. Your lordship is the prime root of the tree of the planetary systems. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in 3 trunks, as me means Brahma, Shiva, and you, the Almighty Vishnu, for creation, maintenance, and dissolution, and we 3 have grown with many branches. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you, the tree of the cosmic manifestation. something that Shiva and Vishnu, they are both Supreme Lord. Some say Shiva is Supreme Lord, Vishnu is not, but it is not correct. Final conclusion is that Vishnu is Supreme Lord, Shiva is one, his expansion, but in the mood of his servant, always. And one who is a servant of Krishna, he is as worshipable as Krishna himself, but appropriately, how we are worshipping devotees of Krishna and how they are serving Krishna. Loko vikarma niratah kushale pramatah karmanyam tvat udite bhavat archanesve yas tavat asya balavan iha jivitasham sadhyash chinati animishaya namostu tasmei. People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time. This eternal time, this will take away everything. Means we will cut to pieces everything. Foolish activities means when you are in false ego, you are in ignorance of your real self and what is your duty. Any activity which is emerging from false ego is foolish. It will not be beneficial. Whatever you will do, whatever you will get, everything will be cut to pieces by time. So you cannot get what you actually want. Yes, because we don't want to do beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance, for jivas. As Paramatma, he is guiding, as bona fide scriptures, as bona fide guru, bona fide devotee, they're encouraging us to do beneficial activities. But if there is no sukriti and this tendency for foolish work remains very powerful, then this will happen. We'll get this experience, how time takes away everything. So, Brahma is offering obeisances to him who is this eternal time, that is Krishna. In Gita, Krishna also says, I am time. Time is dependent on him. It's his potency. In that sense, they are non-different. Yasmat bibhemyaham api dviparardha dishnyam adyasitah sakala loka namaskritam yat tepe tapo bahusavo varurutsa manas tasmai namo bhagavate dimakhaya tubhyam. There is one verse, I forgot, in one Purana, where it is stated, if something is dependent on something, fully dependent, then you can give same name to that dependent as to the one, as the one has on whom he is dependent. That is why in Upanishads, Baladev Vidyabhushan and other Vaishnava Acharyas, Ramanuja and others, they explained that when it is said that this is Brahma, it is non-different from all this, then you have to understand that you have to apply this point. That because they are fully dependent on him, they are him. In that sense. So Upanishads are very tricky, but not tricky for devotees. Devotees, they can easily understand, but those who are not surrendered to bona fide teacher, they may misunderstand Upanishads. Like Mahaprabhu, when he was hearing Vedanta Sutra from Sarvabhaumacharya, then after 7 days, Sarvabhaumacharya said to him, "Do you understand anything what I'm saying? You are not putting any questions or nothing, so I don't know. Do you understand?" Then Mahaprabhu said, "I am listening because you told me to listen. You did not tell me to ask questions. So I'm listening." Then Sarvabhaumacharya said, "Okay, but do you understand?" Then Mahaprabhu said, "Yes, I understand the verses of Vedanta Sutra." That is very plain, but it is, in reality, if you read Vedanta Sutra, those sutras, they are not at all easy to understand. What is the point? What is meant? But those who are surrendered, when they are hearing, because Vyasadeva is writing Vedanta Sutra, so if one is surrendered, when he will hear that, he will catch it. What is the point? But with your intellect and knowledge of Sanskrit, you cannot understand. It is too concise, too terse, that impossible to understand. But Mahaprabhu told, yes, I understand. That is very simple to understand. The sutras of Vyasa, very clear. But your explanation, that I cannot understand. That is something strange. I don't know why you are giving such explanation. I see that the meaning of Vedanta Sutra is very clear, like sun. When sun comes up, everything is clear. Sun is there, everything is visible by the grace of sun, everything is very clear. But your explanation, they're like covering that real meaning. So that I don't understand. Then Sarvabhaumacharya became angry. What? You are saying you understand the sutras? No one can understand sutras. And you say you are understanding sutras and you are not understanding my commentary? This is not, he became angry. Because in reality, really it is so. Without the commentary, it is very difficult, you cannot understand Vedanta Sutras. That is why Vyasadeva himself wrote this Bhagavatam, this is commentary. But Mahaprabhu was playing that pastime that clearly he could see everything by submissive hearing. And then he explained to him, Mahaprabhu explained to him what is the meaning. When it is said that Apanipado, Supreme Lord has no hand, it means he has no material hand. He has transcended. And many other things he explained to him what is the meaning. Then Sarvabhaumacharya was defeated. Then in order to regain his dignity, he said, okay, but what about this verse? Then he came with Bhagavatam, Atma Ramascha Munayo, all that. And he explained it in, I think, 8 or 9 ways. Then he challenged him. You explain this verse. Then Mahaprabhu explained that verse, Atma Ramascha Muna, in 18 explanations without touching that 9 which Sarvabhaumacharya gave. Then when Sarvabhaumacharya heard explanation of that verse in 18 ways, then he understood he's not ordinary person. It is impossible for any human being or ordinary to come with such explanation. Then he bowed down to him, then Mahaprabhu graced him, and he showed him that he is actually Supreme Lord. Then Sarvam Bhattacharya became devotee. He gave up that Mayavad, became pure devotee, and was preaching pure devotion also everywhere. And he wrote many songs. And so without the grace of Supreme Lord you cannot. And there is no wonder why Mahaprabhu could easily understand the sutras, because he's the author of sutras. Author knows what is meant, what he's writing in short as a note. Author knows. And he himself is author. Krishna says in Gita, Vedanta Krit. I am the author of Vedanta. So as Vyasadeva and there. So, but if you are not the author, then it is very difficult to understand. You have to be fully surrendered to author, and you have to hear explanation by the author or by those who realized what the author meant. These 4 Vaishnava Acharyas, then you will understand that Vedanta is actually speaking about Supreme Lord and about devotion to Him. That is the point of all Upanishads and Vedanta everything. Yasmad bibemi aham api dviparardha dishnyam adyasita sakala loka namaskritam yat tepe tapu bahusavo varuru samanas tasmai namo bhagavate dhima khaya tubhyam. Your Lordship, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are indefatigable time. This is same that word as yesterday. Never tired, never will stop. Indefatigable time, and the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Although I am situated in an abode which will continue to exist for a time, duration of 2 parardas, although I am the leader of all other planets in the universe, and although I have undergone many years of penance for self-realization, still I offer my respects unto you. That is proper. That is very long time, through 2 parardhas. You know that very long time, how it is calculated. Here in commentary, Brahma is the greatest personality in the universe because he has the longest duration of life. He is firstborn, and he will die last. He is the most respectable personality because of his penance, influence, prestige, etc. And still he has to offer his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Therefore, it is incumbent upon all others who are far below the standard of Brahma to do as he did and offer respects as a matter of duty. It is our duty to offer our respect to Supreme Lord, where he is eternal servant. Brahma also, here he is telling, and also in 10th canto, Brahma also played the pastime of not understanding Krishna. He can understand Narayan, but he played the pastime of not understanding Krishna, how he is Supreme Lord. This year we will hear during Purushottam, how he is Supreme Lord. He has no opulence, and he has parents, and all other things he told. But then, when he was bewildered by Krishna, that is Brahma Mohan Lila, then he understood by Krishna's grace who is he. And from him all Narayanas are coming. So our Gurudev explained that, you see, if even Brahma, with such duration of life and such intelligence and such knowledge of Veda and penance and everything, he cannot understand. He's giving this teaching, then how can you, without submitting to Krishna? Impossible. Only through submission we can understand Krishna Lila. That is why you should not speak Krishna Lila in public. Because those who are not surrendered, many people they are coming, so they will not be able to understand these human-like pastimes of Krishna. They will think it is like man-woman relation, so we can also do. That is why that is prohibited. Krishna Lila. Even those who are in Aishwarya, like Brahma, he also could not understand. So gradually and with submission, proper training is necessary before we can hear Krishna Lila and understand and participate, means through service in that Lila. It is not a joke. Sahajiyas, they cheaply want to they want to enjoy those Lilas. But they will not get the real thing. They may feel proud, yes, we are topmost. But they will not get the real thing through enjoying. Tiryan Manushya Vibhudhadishu Jiva Yonishu Atme Chayatma Krita Setu Paripsayaya Reme Nirasta Vishayo Pyavaruddha Dehas Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Purushottamaya. O my Lord, by your own will you appear in the various species of living entities, among animals lower than human beings, as well as among the demigods, to perform your transcendental pastimes, like fish, boar, tortoise. Even as ant he can come and be omnipotent, or mosquito or anything. And among the demigods like Brahman, to perform your transcendental pastimes. You are not affected by material contamination. You come just to fulfill the obligations of your own principles of religion, and therefore, O Supreme Personality, I offer my obeisances unto you for manifesting such different forms. They're all different kinds of lilas. He appears in this world to rescue the fallen souls. So tomorrow is a special day. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Gadadhar Pandit Prabhu disappearance day, but we are having program here with the devotees. So tomorrow there will be no Skype, but if someone wants, he can find on YouTube channel there in the Vaishnavas that list. There is previews about Gadadhar Pandit and Bhaktivinoda Thakur on their appearance days like this, if someone wants to hear. Then we will continue on Monday. Bhagavatam.